Another day means another Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection video from ya boy, Dynasty. Hey, what's up? Happy Saturday. I got for you guys some really big news. Stuff that I don't think has ever been discussed up until this morning, and it's coming from my buddy, my pal, my homie, Interloko. Interloko's the GOAT, dude. He just discovered, I'm just gonna say it, for the entire time that we've known about the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, I was under the assumption, right, that all of these games off of all these different retro systems, all of that emulation was being done in-house by Digital Eclipse. That's what I thought. But it turns out that Digital Eclipse is outsourcing emulation, and there's this company called Implicit Conversions, and they have this emulation system software called, I'm not even kidding, Syrup. All their names are like breakfast names. Well, they're using this Syrup system of emulators to emulate PS1, Super Nintendo, you name it. And when you go over to their official website, they actually break down an entire roadmap. So we now know how long they've been working on the Legacy Collection. Like, for starters, on their roadmap, they pretty much are saying in progress right now is PS1 emulation for Mythology, Sub-Zero, for Special Forces, for Trilogy. Those three games aren't even completed. They're still being worked on right now. I believe on the Discord, they confirmed that production for those PS1 games kicked off in the middle of June. That's not that long ago. So if you ever thought everything just kind of felt like it was steamrolling out of nowhere really fast, it's because it is. So a whole deep dive into the actual people who are helping Digital Eclipse emulate all these games. And it's kind of insane because this is like a commercial emulator, and that kind of explains why, like, N64 emulation will probably never see in any type of these collections, because as far as Interloko's research is seen, again, I'll have his video linked down below, go watch it, please. They can only use commercial emulators, and there's no such thing as a commercial N64 emulator, so like N64 Trilogy with Chameleon is impossible because it just doesn't exist. So the caveat seems to be like commercially licensed emulation, and right now, PS1's on there, again, some other Nintendo stuff's on there. The big takeaway is they're currently working on PS2 emulation, so there's your answer to why you're not gonna have any 3D era Mortal Kombat games anytime soon, because it's not done. Again, on their roadmap, it says they're testing that on the Nintendo Switch 2 consoles right now, and they're also asking for investors to help them invest so they can make that across the board for all mainline current consoles. So yeah, Implicit Conversions. They are complicit in the creation of Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. So that's just one thing we're going to discuss today. Now, over at PAX West, you guys do know this weekend is the final date of the Kombat Tour 2025. And sadly, we're not really getting any news, it seems like, at PAX West. However, somebody there in attendance actually managed to speak to the Atari dev there at the booth, at the panel, and he confirmed that as far as he knows, they've been working on this for a little over a year. And that's what I've been saying. I've been saying it's been like 7 months to a little over a year is what I was thinking. According to him, it's been a little over a year. And again, I'll give you the full rundown on that. So that's another thing of note to discuss. Also, the release date, you still don't have one. When asked all weekend about a release date, they keep saying to be announced 2025. So that's a thing. And for what it's worth, they're giving away some awesome lanyards, and they already ran out of the MK4 pins. So they're giving people Gamescom UMK3 style pins, which I think are even cooler, but again, were they not prepared for PAX West? I don't know, but that's the agenda for today. A lot of stuff! A lot of stuff you've probably never heard before. I'm just still mind blown. Had no idea that they were outsourcing the emulation, and all of it just makes sense now. Now, the good news, too, by the way, is apparently, Dreamcast isn't out of the question. You gotta watch Interloko's video, again, linked down below to actually get the full explanation better than I ever could. So, with that said, before we break all this stuff down, I know it's been one hell of a long intro. I'm sorry, bear with me. It's a lot of stuff to break down and try to put it in layman's terms because even me, I was overwhelmed. Drop a like if you're hyped, and well, let's get into it. So first things first, by the way, in case you forgot, pre-orders for the Xbox are ending this weekend. They came out and said the last day to order the physical Xbox Standard Edition with your choice of exclusive slipcover ends August 31st. Get over here and snag your copy. So keep that in mind. You cannot buy the Xbox version at GameStop. You can't buy it at Amazon. You're not going to be able to go into a retailer like Best Buy or Walmart and buy that. I know it sucks, but this has kind of been par for the course if you're a collector. You know, a lot of stuff never gets printed physical for the Xbox. It's typically been like PS4, PS5, and Switch, and that's the same thing. And it's all being done, unfortunately, through limited run games. So, pre-orders end tomorrow. If you play on Xbox and you want physical and you want to get the exclusive slipcover from Atari, you have one more day. And if you need some inspiration, this is what I ended up ordering just a couple of days ago. We got the Smoke Nintendo Switch 2 slipcover, the Scorpion Nintendo Switch 1 cover, the PS5 version Sub-Zero slipcover, and for the Xbox I went with the Reptile slipcover. So I got all of them other than the normal one that just says like Legacy Collection because it's not as cool as the Ninja slipcovers. Come on, nobody wants the standard one. You gotta get the Ninja ones. So yeah, man, I figure, again, I gotta tell you this because right here you can see again, it ends 11:59 Eastern Time, PM, 8:31 tomorrow. So just want to get that out the way. Go and pre-order if you're interested. If not, you can always buy it digitally. Keep that in mind. And speaking of digital, you guys do know that it's been leaked twice. The alleged digital release dates. PlayStation initially was saying, I believe, 9:30. Then Xbox came out and said 10:30. So either or, I might have got the two confused. It's those two dates. And when asked again as of 6 hours ago, still to be announced. So I was really thinking the final dates of the Kombat Tour, PAX West, we would have got a trailer with this, but I guess they're still editing that. So yeah. And again, when asked about the release date, now they're kind of backtracking and they're just saying 2025 when just a few events ago, I want to say it was San Diego Comic-Con, but you could see the banners on the wall were saying fall 2025, so, winter? Physicals at least, right? As of now, I hope this does not get delayed. There's no way. There's no way. MK2 movie just got delayed. Don't do this to me, Digital Eclipse. Just say fall 2025, but it's kind of scary. Now, you can see up here, they're advertising, come pick up your MK4 pin. And again, as far as I know, they ran out of these so fast, like almost instantly, because I'm seeing people are getting the Gamescom UMK3 style purple cabinet pin. And the big takeaway for me was these lanyards, man. If you had a ticket to PAX West in Seattle, you got this with your badge. So some people aren't even Mortal Kombat fans, and they're leaving with, I think, some of the coolest Mortal Kombat swag I've ever seen. It's got the entire portraits of the Mortal Kombat 1 character select screen, and I know what you're thinking. You're like, damn it, I want one. I'll pay money for this. How do I get this? Well, thankfully, if you go on eBay, you could buy these for as low as $10. Your boy actually purchased one of these last night. Hopefully I don't get like a rock in the mail or, I don't know, a piece of paper. Hopefully I get my lanyard, but I'm seeing as low as $10. You guys could actually purchase this and get it delivered in like a week. So don't freak out. I know this is super cool. $10 on eBay. Don't pay more than that. Now again, in regards to me just saying that they were running out of the PAX West style pins with the 4, the MK4, the Garage Gamer, shout out to Garage Gamer, man. He's actually, I think, the only person that has any type of footage at PAX West showcasing the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, and I believe the only thing you can play right now is Mortal Kombat Trilogy, and that's it. But he shared here, they didn't have any of the pin for the show when I went by, but I got the one from Germany instead, which honestly I think is even cooler than the Mortal Kombat 4 one, because again, chances are you probably weren't at Gamescom in Germany, so this might end up being like the rarest pin. So honestly, I think Garage Gamer came out pretty okay. If anybody has these pins by chance and you want to give them to me, let me know. Just saying. I'll take them. I doubt anybody just has a couple of these laying around, but if you do, feel free. I'll take them. Now, again, if you guys want to see some more Trilogy gameplay, I'm going to have a video down below to the Garage Gamer, and in the middle of him actually showcasing the gameplay, he's talking to this Atari employee, this Atari dev, who walks up to them and starts asking them, like, hey, what's the first Mortal Kombat game you ever played and stuff, and he actually asks, like, how long were they working on this? And that's where we get confirmation that they've been working on it for a little bit over a year. Now, here's an excerpt from the video courtesy of Interloko. Interloko sent this to me and was like, yo, check this out. Off the top of my head, just a touch over a year. So, that's how long they've been working on the Legacy Collection. I don't want anybody to say I've been lying when I've been saying it's been almost like, I think at most a year. There you go! For a year! They gave them a year to figure all this shit out! Gotta let them cook, WB, man. What the fuck? You gotta let them cook. So, again, I highly suggest checking out the link down below as well to see some more Trilogy gameplay. Pretty quick little interview here. Nothing really of note being shared that we haven't already discussed. But if you want to see more of the Atari booth in action at PAX West, link down below. Again, a massive shout out to the Garage Gamer for giving us some insight, because without him, we'd have nothing. So, my man, thank you so much. Now, this is where things get interesting, because again, we kicked off the video discussing this company called Implicit Conversions. Again, if you want to see this from somebody who is a data miner, source code enthusiast, aficionado, go watch Interloko's video, link down below. So I'm going to try to give you guys, like, the Spark Notes, quickest way to explain this interesting situation. So if you go to their website here, you can see recent games they've worked on. Mortal Kombat Trilogy, Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero, Mortal Kombat Special Forces, conveniently all on the PlayStation 1, in collaboration with Digital Eclipse. And if you continue to scroll a bit lower, you're going to see here this whole Syrup tab here. It says no source code, no problem. Syrup is a feature-rich cross-platform emulation engine for retro systems. It allows developers to interface with modern consoles like the PlayStation 5 or the Switch. Syrup has a robust architecture which handles display, audio controls, network, and add-ons like trophies. Consists of multiple emulators which are modified to be lightweight plugins. Syrup boasts a wide array of features such as network multiplayer, trophy achievement support, up-rendering, post-processing, and scripting, API to add entirely new improvements to old games such as Gamepad Rumble, remastered artwork, and wide screen. And again, I'll have this website linked down below because this is the team responsible for everything we're getting, at least it seems like. Maybe this is fake news, but it's not, guys. This team is how we're getting a lot of these classic games emulated. And speaking of the team, just to give you an idea, like, look how many people are actually here. 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 people. 14 people. 14 people created the engine that will be getting the Legacy Collection. Assisting Digital Eclipse. Again, I don't know the intricacies of this, but they're responsible, it seems like, for a lot of the stuff we'll be getting. And again, when you click on their passion, it mentions how they're really big on, like, game preservation. You can see on the very bottom, partners, limited run games, who's, again, responsible for Collector's Edition, Deluxe Edition, the Xbox Physicals. You can see here Digital Eclipse, and based on what Interloko was telling me, at least in his video too, these guys were working on a bunch of, like, PlayStation classics for, like, PS1, PS2, PS3, that I guess were, like, on the PlayStation Network, PlayStation Plus system. But now they've kind of focused in on, I guess, actual releases, not just for PlayStation, kind of all across the board in the industry. So again, this used to be PlayStation. They were like a PlayStation partner. Not to say they still don't work on PlayStation, because obviously they're emulating PlayStation stuff. But now it's all across the board, and that's now Digital Eclipse's spot. But this used to be PlayStation. So yeah, Funny enough, their most recent blog post was from the 1st of the month. Shout out to Bone Thugs. And they say here, using Pancake, our PS1 emulator, we're excited to play a part in bringing the Mortal Kombat trilogy to Switch, PS5, PC, and more. So, yeah. They came out and were like, by the way, this is what we've been working on. And when I say this is what we've been working on, they're not holding back. They've got a whole roadmap. So I wrote down code names so you guys aren't confused. Now, Waffle is PS2 emulation. Pancake is PS1 emulation. Toast, I believe, is Nintendo emulation. And Syrup is just the entire system, right, that we just talked about earlier. And you can see here, this is what they've been up to as of late. Q4, they're currently working on Mortal Kombat Trilogy, PS1 version using Pancake in partnership with Digital Eclipse. In progress. Same can be said for Mythology Sub-Zero. In progress. Same for Special Forces. In progress. So you can see, we have in progress, we have pre-production, we have released. Right now, currently working on the PS1 games we're getting in the Legacy Collection. So yeah, this shit's still not been ironed out completely. It's still a work in progress, which is crazy, because again, September 30th is like in maybe like 30 days, roughly. Hopefully, this game does not get delayed, but October 30th, when I see stuff like this, really doesn't shock me. And I mentioned earlier they're currently trying to get PlayStation 2 emulation on this Syrup engine they're piecing together and commercially licensing to companies like WB and Digital Eclipse. So you can see here, they have an investment page. Invest in the past, shape the future. Built on the Syrup engine, this new emulator will unlock a library over 4,000 games to be played on Switch 2, Series X, PS5, PC. And again, they're seeking investors to fund a powerful new PlayStation 2 emulator. So we don't have 3D era games because the people responsible working on the PS1 games don't even have a PS2 emulator up and running. However, with me buying like 4 copies and 5 digitally, you guys probably buying a couple copies, they'll probably get their investment money. That's why they keep saying, buy it if you want to have a second one. We got to support this one and get a second one and get those PS2 games. Well, that's why, because you can see here, it doesn't exist. And they're openly asking for help to make it happen. And if you don't believe me, you can see Waffle on Nintendo Switch 2 researching prototyping the possibility of PS2 emulator Waffle for the Switch 2 in progress the last 6 months. So for 6 months, it kicked off and they've been working on that. They're currently working on PS2 emulation. And going back to the roadmap, I know a lot of you guys have been asking for like Mortal Kombat 9, aka MK 2011. For some reason, there's people asking for MK versus DC. I don't know why. It exists. There's people asking for it, right? We can see here they're dreaming about a PS3 emulator. It doesn't exist, just like PS2 emulation not being ironed out yet. The PS3 one is just them dreaming. But you can see here, like, Pancake on the Xbox One. You click on it, right? Release of our PS1 emulator Pancake for the Xbox One 2 months ago. It's only been finished for 2 months. 2 months! 2 months the PS1 emulator has been finished. 2 months. And obviously, I just showed you guys, they're currently working on those PS1 games still. It's in progress. So, 2 months ago is when they figured out how to emulate these games, right when it got announced. And according to that Atari guy, currently at PAX West, a little over a year, everyone's been trying to work on this. But people tell me I'm tripping when I say this was just rushed out there. The proof is right here. We now have proof. And again, you can click Pancake on the Nintendo Switch 8 months ago, right? They completed it 2 months ago. So, it's all here on this roadmap. All you gotta do is hit roadmap. It gives you everything they've been working on. Pancake on the Xbox Series X and S. 8 months ago it started, 2 months ago it got finished. So all you have to do is hit up the roadmap and you guys can see for yourself. And It's all right here. They're not hiding anything. It's as transparent as you could ask for. So, yeah. They've even got a wish list. And again, I was just sharing with you guys the current roadmap of the games they're working on. In progress, man. In progress. And you click on it, it just says 3 months ago is when they kicked it off. MK Trilogy. Partnership of Digital Eclipse. So, yeah, man, there you go. I'm hoping this gives you something. Again, I feel like Interloko explains it far better than I ever could, so I'm going to have his video linked down below, but there you go, man. So if you're collecting on the Xbox and you really want to get a physical collector's edition, standard edition, again, you got a couple more days, aka tomorrow is the last day. Go pre-order, and I strongly suggest doing it through Atari so you get that slipcover if you're just going to get the normal version like myself. And yeah, there you go. That's all I got for y'all today. What do y'all think of everything? Hoping the game does not get pushed back. But if it does, I mean, it kind of is what it is, especially when, like, the physicals are dropping in December, right? So, if the digital date gets pushed back to December, I'm not going to complain. Because I don't want to buy it a 5th time. I really don't. And a lot of people are like, you don't got to buy it a 5th time, just wait. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. No one said you got to buy it 4 times. Doesn't have crossplay. They're doing it on purpose because they need money! To some extent. I think it's a genius marketing tactic, but that's the update for the Legacy Collection today. Obviously, if anything changes, I'll keep you guys in the loop. What do you all think of this? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoy it, take a second, drop a like on it. Subscribe to some more MK content like this on the channel. If you want to see some more Trilogy gameplay, down below. If you want to see Interloko break down this whole situation about them outsourcing another dev team to help with emulation, down below. I'll also have the link to the Xbox Atari store down below. I love you guys. See you later. Have a great weekend. Peace.